This season for Klay Thompson has been a complete disaster. He's having the worst season of his 14-year career, averaging a career low 9 points per game and only shooting 31% from the three-point line. So I've decided to put Klay Thompson back into his prime, where he's going to be 26 years old at a 92 overall, and hopefully we're able to win him one last championship. And in the process, I will also be rebuilding the Dallas Mavericks, so if there's any trades I need to pull off to build the perfect team around Klay Thompson, I will be doing so. But as of right now, this is what the 9-man rotation will be looking like. The starting lineup will include D'Angelo Russell, prime Klay Thompson, Cooper Flag, Anthony Davis, and Derek Lively II. And then off the bench we have Gafford, Washington, Christie, and Marshall. And sadly, Kyrie Irving is out with an injury for the rest of this season, and that's why we're running D'Angelo Russell at the starting point guard position, but that's definitely a position we'll be looking forward to upgrading at this trade deadline. Let's go ahead and simulate the first week with Prime Klay and see how we do. The first game we will be taking on the New York Knicks, and we do end up losing to them by 21 points. Prime Klay Thompson dropped 13 points, AD had 28, but sadly we still do fall short. The next game is up against the New Orleans Pelicans, who we end up defeating here by nearly 30 points. And Prime Klay Thompson dropped 41 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 blocks. That is what I'm talking about. Next game is against the Memphis Grizzlies, who we also end up defeating here, and Prime Klay drops 36 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal, shooting 13 of 23 from the field, and 4 of 8 from the three-point line. We're going to be running with a 3.5-star overall system proficiency balanced under Jason Kidd. Currently we're the number 12 seed with 6 wins and 12 losses, but now that we have Prime Klay Thompson, I truly believe we can turn things around. I'm going to continue simulating until the trade deadline, where we probably will be upgrading our starting point guard position. I'm stopped here at the trade deadline, and we've definitely turned things around. We've been winning a lot more games since bringing in Prime Klay Thompson. We're currently the 3rd seed with 35 wins and 16 losses, and so far Klay Thompson's averaging 30 points per game, shooting 53% from the field and 48% from the three-point line. The only change we'll be making to our roster this trade deadline is getting ourselves a new starting point guard. D'Angelo Russell has been alright, but I mean, he's shooting 34% from the three-point line, and I want good shooters around Prime Klay and Anthony Davis. So let me see which player we can bring back to be the new starting point guard until Kyrie Irving returns. The player I'm going to attempt to bring in on our team to be the starting point guard is Peyton Pritchard from the Boston Celtics. He's currently averaging 13 points per game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 41% from the three-point line. So let's go ahead and offer the Boston Celtics Jaden Hardy and Najee Marshall for Peyton Pritchard, and they do decline, so let's start throwing in some first-round picks. 1 first-round pick is all it took, and we got ourselves Peyton Pritchard to be the brand new starting point guard. We have below 14 players on our team, so we're forced to sign a player that's currently a free agent, and Malik Beasley is a free agent, so I'm going to go ahead and offer him a 2-year contract, and he happily accepts. Now I think our team should be able to play games, or will we still need to re-sign another player? And yes, we're able to play games now. If you guys are enjoying this rebuild so far, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 rebuilds. At the end of season number 1, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wins MVP, Cooper Flag, our boy, wins Rookie of the Year, averaging 15 points per game, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.2 steals, and nearly 1 block per game. Darren Sharp wins 6-man, Victor Wembanyama wins Defensive Player of the Year, Quetta wins Most Improved, Shai also wins Clutch Player, Jason Kidd Coach of the Year, and we also win Executive of the Year. Let's see if we have any All-NBA selections. We do get Anthony Davis on All-NBA second team, and we do not get Klay Thompson for some reason. I believe that's because we spawned him into the middle of the season, which is why he's not receiving any awards as of right now. We also get Anthony Davis on All Defensive first team, and it looks like that will be it for awards. And of course, Cooper Flag on All Rookie first team. We did end the season being the number 1 seed, winning a total of 62 games and losing only 20. We won a boatload of games ever since bringing Klay Thompson on this team, And let me show you guys the player stats for our team before we jump into the playoffs. So the leading scorer on this team was, of course, prime Klay Thompson, averaging 28 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 1 steal, half a block, shooting 51% from the field, 46% from the three-point line, and 84% from the free throw line. And then we had Anthony Davis averaging 25 and 11, 15 from Cooper Flagg, 13 from Peyton Pritchard, 12 from PJ, 11 from Russell, and 10 from Daniel Gafford. In the first round of the playoffs, we're going to be taking on the Sacramento Kings, who have Russell Westbrook, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Murray, and Domantas Sabonis. And now it's officially time for the playoffs. Let's see if we can win ourselves a championship in the first season with prime Klay Thompson. Again, we're taking on the Sacramento Kings, and game number 1 will go to us since Klay Thompson dropping 38 points, Anthony Davis with a 24-point double-double, Pritchard had himself 16. Game number 2 will go to the Sacramento Kings. They defeat us here by 4 points. Klay Thompson did kind of struggle offensively, and so did AD, which is probably the main reason why we lost that game, but we do win game number 3. When Klay Thompson drops 26 points, Anthony Davis has himself a 24-point double-double. Can we go up 3-1? No, we cannot. They do end up tying up the series, and they once again defeat us by 4 points, just like they did in the first game they won. AD had 38 points, Cooper had 21, and Klay Thompson struggled once again. I am going to switch up some shot tendencies, possibly come up with a defensive coach game plan, and then we'll advance to game number 5. I have some amazing news for our team. Kyrie Irving is still currently injured, but we are able to put him back into our starting lineup. He will be playing 33 minutes per game. This should help us out a ton here in the playoffs. I was not expecting to get Kyrie Irving back in the playoffs. I thought he would be out entirely because it says right there on the left side of the screen, sore right knee season. But when I was changing the player minutes, it said he can play 32 minutes a game. So of course, we're going to be adding him back into our starting lineup. And we'll also change up his shot tendency, that way he shoots more buckets. We want him to have more touches, 99, so let's see if Kyrie Irving is going to help us out get this next win. Where we will have home court advantage, but we do start off so far losing the game, and it looks like we will end up losing this game by quite a bit. AD had 28 points. Klay had 25, and sadly, Kyrie Irving only scored 13 points, but he did shoot the ball really well and had himself a double-double. I will definitely need to change some things up. I didn't come up with a defensive coach game plan. That's because as soon as I saw Kyrie Irving could play for us, I got so excited, I just had to let you guys know. But of course, I am going to come up with a defensive coach game plan because this team is honestly making us struggle here. Sabonis, let's see how he's doing. He's only averaging 12 points per game, so I'm not sure how this team is pushing us here so far. Okay, it's Malik Monk. Bro's averaging 25 points per game as a starting shooting guard, and Russ is averaging 16 points. So let me come up with a defensive coach game plan, and then hopefully we can tie up the series. Alrighty, I came up with a defensive coach game plan. I also fixed up the player shot tendencies. Now that we have Kyrie Irving back, I did have to adjust some of the other player shot tendencies. That way, our big 3 of prime Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving, and Anthony Davis are taking the most amount of shots as possible. Let's jump into Simcast. Hopefully we can tie up the series and push it to a game 7. If not, we will be getting eliminated. And it looks like we are going to be getting eliminated here in the first round of the playoffs to a play-in team. Klay Thompson had 17 points, Kyrie had 16, and Anthony Davis shot 4 of 12, only putting up 12 points. And honestly, that's pretty disappointing, but that just means our team is not good enough to win a championship. This offseason, I will probably be trading players like Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving and upgrading this team into a better championship contender. Let's go ahead and see who's going to win the playoffs here, the NBA Finals. It's going to be the New York Knicks taking on the OKC Thunder, and the OKC Thunder go on to win a back-to-back championship with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander winning Finals MVP. And this is the player stats for our team in the playoffs. We played a total of 6 games, and prime Klay Thompson was averaging 23 points per game. His shooting splits weren't as good as a regular season, but I mean, he was still shooting nearly 40% from the 3-point line. Anthony Davis was averaging 25, and Kyrie Irving was averaging 15 points per game. I was already planning on making upgrades to this team this coming off season, possibly trading away Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving if we're able to find the right trades. player retirements, these are the players that will be retiring. And now I'll see you guys at the draft lottery, where after the draft lottery we could pull off some trades. It's time for the draft lottery. I'm not sure if we're going to have ourselves a first round pick in the 26 NBA draft, but let's find out. We don't have ourselves a lottery pick, but will we end up with a first rounder? And it looks like we won't have ourselves a first round pick, sadly, but that's all right. Honestly, we're not looking to draft any rookies anyways, but we do have future first round picks that we can include in some trades that we're going to be pulling off this offseason. I know I said I was going to be trading Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving this offseason, but honestly, I want to give this big three one more try. We only had 2 games with Kyrie Irving with a big three, so why not give them a whole season and see how they do? If they're not doing too well, we can always trade them at the trade deadline, but as of right now, I do want to keep Anthony Davis, prime Klay Thompson, and Kyrie Irving together here in Dallas. But that doesn't mean I won't be pulling off any trades. We will most definitely be pulling off trades this offseason, bringing in some good role players to pair up with prime Klay, AD, and Kyrie Irving. Also, we're going to be running Anthony Davis at the center position, no longer at the power forward. Let's go to team player option and see what players we need to pick up the team option for. And Derek Lively II, of course, we're going to pick up the team option on him. And D'Angelo Russell accepts his player option. Qualifying offers, we don't have to bring back anyone here by the looks of things in free agency. And yeah, Brendan Williams is the only free agent we have, and of course we don't really need him on this team. And Luke Dort is currently a free agent, so of course I'm going to go ahead and give him a contract. Hopefully he'll be accepting this contract and coming on our team. He's an amazing 3-and-D player, really good defender, and a good 3-point shooter as well, and he will be accepting this contract on a 3-year, $15.75 million contract. And the first trade of this offseason I'm attempting to pull off is bringing in Andrew Nembhard to be the new backup point guard behind Kyrie Irving. He can score about 13 points per game, he's a good playmaker, and his shooting splits were amazing this past season, plus he's a really good perimeter defender as well. We're going to be offering the Pacers Peyton Pritchard and Max Christie for Andrew Nembhard, and they accept the trade. PJ Washington signed a contract extension with the Dallas Mavericks in real life, where they're paying him $90 million over the next 4 seasons, but in this 2K simulation, his contract was not up to date, so I went ahead and changed that, and now he's on a 4-year, $87 million contract. And with PJ Washington's contract, we're attempting to trade for Jaden McDaniels, who's one of the best defenders in the league. He's a really good two-way player. This past season, he was nearly shooting 40% from the 3-point line. So we're going to be offering the Timberwolves PJ Washington and Malik Beasley for Jaden McDaniels, and they do end up declining, but we do have first round picks that we can include in this trade, and 1 first rounder gets it done. We still have Daniel Gafford on our team, and we don't need him no longer since we are running Anthony Davis at the center position, so we're going to be pulling off this trade here with the Memphis Grizzlies, where we send them D'Angelo Russell and Daniel Gafford in return for Cedric Coward and Ty Jerome. We need ourselves a backup wing, and Cedric Coward is a small forward, and he's a really young player who's only going to continue getting better. He's already playing really well in his rookie season, so I'm excited to see how he does on our team. And the last trade I'm attempting to pull off is sending the Utah Jazz Ty Jerome and Simon Fontecchio, who I signed just now in free agency, for Taylor Hendricks, and they will accept the trade. Here we are at the start of this season with our brand new 9-man rotation. The starting lineup will include Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, Jaden McDaniels, Cooper Flagg, and Anthony Davis at the center position, and then off the bench we have Andrew Nembhard, Cedric Coward, Derek Lively II, and Luke Dort. I'm super excited to see how this team does. Another goal we will have for this season is winning Klay Thompson an MVP. I raised his shot tendencies, that way he'll be shooting the most amount of shots on this team, so he will be the #1 scoring option, and we'll see how things go. Let's go ahead and simulate the first few games and see how we do. So we do end up defeating the Lakers by nearly 40 points, and Klay Thompson dropped 32, 27 double-double from AD, 24 double-double from Cooper, and 16 points from Kyrie Irving. Let's see how we do against the Houston Rockets, who we also end up defeating here by 30 points, and it's AD leading the way, dropping 27 and 13. Klay Thompson drops 23 points. So let me give you guys a little rundown of what our team is going to be looking like. So Klay Thompson is going to be the #1 scoring option on this team, and then Anthony Davis will be the #2 scoring option behind Klay Thompson. Kyrie Irving will mainly be the playmaker, but still scoring when we need him to, and the same for Cooper Flag. Like right now, he is averaging 22 points per game, so Cooper Flag's literally going to be doing everything he can. Scoring, rebounding, playmaking, and above all of that, defending. And Jaden McDaniels will mainly be the best defender on our starting lineup. We are going to be running with a 4.5-star overall system proficiency balanced under Jason Kidd. Let's also go ahead and simulate the next week and see how we do. Will we lose any games? And it looks like we will not. We defeat the Milwaukee Bucks where Klay Thompson dropped 29 points, and so far he's averaging 26 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, 2 assists, shooting 55% from the field and 47% from the 3-point line. This season, we do end up winning the NBA Cup, and Anthony Davis wins NBA Cup MVP. We took on the Toronto Raptors, and we defeated them by only 1 point, where Klay Thompson dropped 27 points, Kyrie had a 17-point double-double, Anthony Davis dropped 16. As good as Anthony Davis has been for us, he is not planning on signing a contract extension with our team. That means he's going to end up leaving us this offseason, and we probably won't be able to re-sign him since we won't have the salary cap. What I'm going to be doing is trading away Anthony Davis, Harrison Barnes, and a first-round pick to the Cleveland Cavaliers, where we get ourselves a former Defensive Player of the Year, Evan Mobley, and DeAndre Hunter. I truly did not want to trade Anthony Davis, but I mean, he was not going to sign a contract extension with our team, and I didn't want to lose him in free agency to absolutely nothing. Plus, now we got ourselves the former Defensive Player of the Year, Evan Mobley. I will be running him at the center position, so we'll see how the rest of this season goes. And sadly enough, Kyrie Irving is another player that doesn't want to re-sign with our team, so that means we're going to have to move on from him as well. I don't want to risk going into free agency and not having enough money to re-sign him, because I don't believe we're going to have the salary cap to bring him back next season, unless we have bird rights, but I still don't want to risk it because I'm not sure if we're going to have bird rights on him. So we're going to be pulling off this trade here with the Brooklyn Nets, where we send them Kyrie Irving and Luke Dort in return for one of the best playmakers in the entire NBA, Trae Young and Nicholas Claxton. I did want to keep the previous big three together, but that is alright because we have ourselves a new big three here in Dallas of Trae Young, Klay Thompson, and Evan Mobley. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama wins MVP. I know I set a goal for Klay Thompson winning MVP, but I believe since I put him in this game and he wasn't already in the 2K simulation, that's why he cannot win an MVP or get any awards whatsoever. Darren Peterson wins Rookie of the Year, DeJounte Murray 6-Man, Wemby Defensive Player, Kamon Maluach Most Improved, Paulo Banchero Clutch Player, Jason Kidd Coach of the Year, and we also win Executive of the Year. So I don't plan on seeing Klay Thompson here as well. Yeah, so he doesn't get any All-NBA awards. Sadly, he's not going to be getting any awards for this video, but Trae Young does make it on All-NBA second team, and it looks like that will be it. No Evan Mobley, but we should get Evan Mobley. Yes, we do on All Defensive first team, and that will be it for awards. We did end this season being the #1 seed, where we won a total of 75 games and lost only 7. After trading for Trae Young and where is he, Evan Mobley, we were on a roll. Like I don't even know if we lost a game in the second half of the season. Let me show you guys the player stats for the regular season. So the leading scorer was not Klay Thompson, it was Trae Young, averaging 27 points per game. But Klay Thompson was also averaging 27 points per game, shooting 53% from the field, 44% from the 3-point line, and 84% from the free throw line. So Klay Thompson played absolutely amazing this season, a little bit less points per game than the previous season, but that makes sense because we have so much firepower on this team. Now it's time for the playoffs. In the first round, we're taking on the Houston Rockets. They have themselves Amen Thompson, Cullen, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith, and Alperen Sengun, and this is their bench unit. Let's see how things go. Game number 1 will go to us, and Klay Thompson drops 34 points, Mobley with a 24-point double-double, Trae Young with a 14-point double-double. Last playoffs, we were eliminated in the first round, so hopefully that does not happen again. We also win game 2, and it's Trae Young dropping a 37-point double-double. Klay Thompson drops 27. And we do end up going up 3-0. Klay Thompson with another 27 piece here, and we do end up sweeping the Houston Rockets. Trae Young in Game 4 dropped 28 points, Klay Thompson had 22, and so far Klay is averaging 27 points per game, but he is struggling from the 3-point line. We're in the second round, taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have DiVincenzo, Anthony Edwards, Washington, who we traded to them, Julius Randle, and Naz Reid. And game number 1 will go to us. Trae Young drops 18 points, Mobley with 17, and Klay with 16. Game number 2, we also end up winning. Prime Klay drops 31 points, 29 from Cooper, and 16 from Trae Young. We are up 2-0 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Can we make that 3-0? And sadly, we cannot. They defeat us here by 18 points. Mobley had 37, Klay Thompson had 26, and Trae Young had 19, but we still do fall short. Our defense was not there, and they do tie up the series here. They win by 1 single point. Trae Young dropped 25, Klay had 21, and Klay's 3-point shooting struggles continue. Mobley had 18. I am going to come up with a defensive coach game plan, maybe change up some shot tendencies, and then we'll advance to the next game. Alrighty, I came up with a defensive coach game plan. I also switched up our starting lineup. DeAndre Hunter will be the starting small forward. His shooting splits have been amazing, whereas Jaden McDaniels is struggling offensively, shooting only 31% from the 3-point line. Let's see if that's going to help us win this next game, and hopefully we do end up winning. We do have home court advantage, and so far we have the lead, and it looks like we will be winning this game by 41 points. And Prime Klay dropped 40 points, shooting 14 of 24 and 7 of 12 from the 3-point line. Trae Young had a 35-point double-double, Mobley had a 16-point double-double. And just like that, we're up 3-2 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Hopefully we defeat them here in Game 6. They will have home court advantage, and so far it looks like they will be winning this game. Sadly, we almost came back in the second half, but not quite there. Klay Thompson had 35, he played amazing, but Trae Young struggled big time, shooting only 4 of 14 from the field. And where is Mobley? Mobley only shot 2 of 9, scoring 5 points. That is insane. Winner go home situation for both teams. Game 7, we will have home court advantage. Thankfully, let's see if we can win this game and advance to the conference finals, and it looks like we will be winning this game by a blowout. He scored 137 points, and Klay Thompson dropped 39, Mobley had 21, and Trae Young had himself 20 points. We did play pretty good defense here on Julius Randle, but now we're in the conference finals taking on the San Antonio Spurs, who have De'Aaron Fox, Harper, Johnson, Sohan, and Victor Wembanyama, as well as Stephon Castle coming off of their bench. I do believe we can defeat the Spurs. They were the number 2 seed. How many games did they win in the regular season? So they won a total of 58 games in the regular season, whereas we won 75. Game number 1 will go to us, and Klay Thompson leads the way, dropping 28 points, Trae Young 26 points and 17 assists, Cooper Flag 22, and Mobley with 20 points and 19 rebounds. Cedric Coward has been really good for us off the bench. He put up 22 points in only 18 minutes and is averaging 11 points per game in 19 minutes. Game number 2 will also go to us, and it's Klay Thompson leading the way once again, dropping 36 points, Trae with 29, and Mobley with 23. We're up 3-0, let's go, and it's Klay leading the way, dropping 36 points, Trae with a 34-point double-double. And we do not sweep them, but can we, gentlemen, sweep them? Yes, we can. Evan Mobley wins Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging 22, 13, and 4. As well as 2 steals and 2 blocks. Anthony Davis, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, which means we're taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have themselves our former teammate, Anthony Davis. They also have Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Tyson, and Rui Hachimura, but Anthony Davis led this team to the NBA Finals, and bro's averaging 26 points per game here in the playoffs. This is definitely going to be a hard challenge. Let's see if we can win this series. Game number 1 will go to us. Trae Young leads the way, dropping a 34-point double-double, Thompson 30, and Mobley with 30 against his former team. Game number 2 will also go to us, and Trae Young drops 29 points, Klay with 24, and Mobley with 12 and 11. Game 3 we do end up losing here sadly, and where is AD? AD we held to 11 points, which is amazing. We played really good defense on him, but we still ended up losing. Trae Young 35, Klay 23, please win game 4, and that's exactly what we do. Klay drops 30 points, Trae Young 25 and 12, Mobley with 24 and 13, and we gentlemen sweep the Cleveland Cavaliers to win prime Klay Thompson another championship and also win the Mavericks a championship in the process. Trae Young wins Finals MVP, averaging 29 points per game, 11 assists, shooting 50, 35, 90. Before I end out this video, let me show you guys the player stats for the playoffs and show you guys how prime Klay Thompson did. So Klay Thompson here in the playoffs, at 21 games we played, he was nearly averaging 30 points per game on 52% from the field and 44% from the 3-point line. So he was playing really good in the playoffs. Basically 30 points per game. Trae Young was averaging 24 and 11. Evan Mobley was averaging 20 and 11, and the rest of the team was amazing as well. And in the NBA Finals, we played a total of 5 games. The leading scorer was Trae Young, averaging 29 points per game, 11 assists, and then we had Klay Thompson averaging 28 points per game, 1.5 block, 1 steal, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. 21 points per game from Evan Mobley and 15 from Cooper Flagg. I did want Klay Thompson to win Finals MVP, but it is what it is. Trae Young did do better in the NBA Finals, but Klay Thompson did better in general in the playoffs. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button. It supports out my videos a ton. YouTube pushes it to a larger audience, and also hit that subscribe button. Click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.